72 hours. That's all the time Maria has to expose the recordings in her hands to the world. Because in 3 days, what was discussed in that meeting will come to life, and millions of innocent people will pay the price. But Maria is just a cleaning lady. No one will believe her, or so she thinks. Hello everyone, welcome to this channel. I'm here with you to explore gripping stories that feel incredibly real. Today I've brought you an extraordinary tale about the fine line between being invisible and being powerful. How will Maria's 72 hours unfold? Can a cleaning lady really save the world? And most importantly, what's in those recordings that terrifies everyone so much? If you love psychological thrillers, unexpected twists, and breathtaking narratives, you're in the right place. Now sit back and relax, because Maria's incredible journey is about to begin. Maria Gonzalez quietly entered through the side door of the International Peace Council building, turning her key. The security cameras knew her by now, the cleaning lady who came at the same time every night for 15 years. But the security guards didn't know that Maria was collecting information that could change world history with every step she took. As the elevator climbed to the 23rd floor, thoughts in 3 different languages swirled in Maria's mind. She was praying for her mother in Spanish, planning tomorrow in English, and in Russian. In Russian, she was replaying that horrifying conversation she heard last night over and over again. Operation Blackout, 72 hours. The elevator stopped. Maria took a deep breath. In the corridor ahead, another night was beginning, where she would listen to the decisions that the world's most powerful people would make. Maria's story began 15 years ago. She was a brilliant woman born in Buenos Aires, studied philology, and received language education at 7 different universities. But life had drawn a different path for her. Economic crisis, family tragedy, visa problems. One morning she found herself in New York with a job application form from a cleaning company in her hand. In the early days, she only cleaned. But Maria's ears were recording every word spoken: French, German, Chinese, Arabic. That extraordinary ability she had possessed since childhood was showing itself here too. Learning languages was as natural to her as breathing. 6 months later, she bought her first recording device. Small, silent, something no one would notice. Just for practice, she thought, to improve my pronunciation. But over time, she realized that those meeting rooms weren't just for official discussions. Before and after meetings, diplomats shared their real thoughts. And Maria, as the invisible cleaning woman, heard it all. Years passed. Hundreds of recordings accumulated in the special cabinet in Maria's small apartment. Secret agreements, economic manipulations, war plans, peace negotiations. The background of world history was hidden in Maria's recordings. But she had never used any of them. Because who would believe her? Who would believe that a cleaning lady knew the secrets of world leaders? 3 nights ago, everything changed. Maria was cleaning the Italian delegation's meeting room. It was 11 p.m. The room was empty, or so she thought. But as she came out of the bathroom, she heard voices from the small meeting room at the back of the hall. There were 3 voices speaking English, Russian, and Chinese. Maria quietly approached. The door was ajar and she could hear those voices. Operation Blackout will begin in 72 hours, said the English-speaking voice. The smart city systems in Valdoria, Nexlin, and Aurelia will experience simultaneous collapse. Maria's heart stopped. The Russian-speaking person continued. A total of 15 million people will be affected. In the middle of winter, heating systems, traffic control, hospital systems. Our estimate is 50,000 casualties within 3 weeks. The third Chinese-speaking voice added coldly, "It will create a humanitarian crisis. International aid will be needed, and then control will be ours." Maria backed away. The wheels of her cleaning cart nearly gave her away with the sound they made. But those 3 people continued talking. "No one will understand the real reason," said the English speaker. It will appear as a cyber attack, but it will actually be physical sabotage. Coordination must be perfect, added the Russian speaker. Same time, same minute. Thursday, 1800 hours GMT, confirmed the Chinese speaker. Exactly 72 hours from now. Maria didn't sleep that night. Her recording device had clearly captured that horrifying conversation. But what would she do now? Should she go to the police? The FBI, IPC security? But who would believe her? Who would believe that a cleaning lady had discovered a worldwide sabotage plan? Moreover, who were the owners of those three voices? She felt like she recognized the voices but wasn't certain. And what if she was wrong? What if this was some kind of simulation or test? For the next 2 days, Maria researched frantically. During every break, she went to internet cafes to research the smart city systems of those three countries. The IoT network recently established in Valdoria, the autonomous transportation system in Nextland, Aurelia's integrated city management platform. Every detail supported the plan she heard that night. And then she saw that news. In all three countries, technical teams had worked last week under the name of system optimization. Foreign experts had come for security updates of the smart city infrastructure, worked and left. Maria's suspicions were confirmed. The plan was real. Now 48 hours remained. Maria had recordings of the world's biggest sabotage plan in her hands, but no one took her seriously. First, she went to IPC security. After listening to what Maria told him, the security chief laughed and said, "Senora, you watch too many movies." She called the New York office of the International Security Agency. "Ma'am, call local police for such complaints," was the response she got. When she went to local police, they sent her back saying, "Ma'am, this is IPC business. We can't interfere." She emailed journalists, got no response, called television channels. "Do you have proof?" they said. "I have recordings," Maria said. "But what's your identity?" they asked. When she said, "I'm a cleaning lady," they hung up. 24 hours remained. Maria was entering the IPC building for the last time, but this time not to clean, because that night there was an emergency security council meeting. The world's 15 most powerful people would discuss global security issues, and Maria was going to enter that meeting. How? She had 15 years of experience. She knew every secret corner of the building, every service door, every blind spot of every security camera. And more importantly, in those 15 years, no one had looked at her. No one had seen her. 10:30 p.m. security was at the highest level. Metal detectors, X-ray machines, dozens of security guards. But Maria, exiting from the service elevator, went directly to the 35th floor. The emergency meeting room was here, and Maria could reach the service room directly above the hall through the ventilation system. The ventilation duct was narrow and dark, but Maria had worked in difficult conditions for 15 years, getting through narrow spaces, being silent, being invisible. She knew these things. Finally, she reached the ventilation grate directly above the meeting room. Below, the most powerful people in world history were sitting. The Atlantis Federation Secretary of State, the Northern Alliance representative, the Eastern Republic ambassador, the Pacific Union Prime Minister. And those three voices, Maria recognized them now. The voices she heard 3 days ago were now sitting around the table. Maria took out her recording device, but this time not to listen, but to speak. She found the intercom connection of the ventilation system. She had worked in this building for 15 years. Every system was interconnected, and Maria knew those systems very well. She pressed a button. The room's sound system turned on. "Attention," Maria spoke in English. "I am Maria Gonzalez, cleaner of this building for 15 years. I have something you need to hear." Everyone in the room was shocked. Security guards panicked, but Maria continued. "3 days ago, I recorded a conversation about Operation Blackout, Valdoria, Nexlin, Aurelia, 72 hours, 15 million people in danger. And then she started playing those horrifying recordings. When those three voices filled the room, everyone was shocked because those voices belonged to people sitting around the table. The English speaker was the Atlantis Federation representative. The Russian speaker was the Northern Alliance delegate. The Chinese speaker was the Eastern Republic ambassador. But the plan wasn't theirs, because the names mentioned in the recording weren't those three people's. The voices were theirs, but the identities were different. Maria had exposed not only Operation Blackout, but something much bigger. Fake voice recordings made with deepfake technology were being used to frame real diplomats. The real saboteurs wanted to create a crisis between those three countries, break apart the global alliance, and shake international trust. Only 6 hours remain now, but the truth was out. Emergency teams were sent to those three cities. Sabotage plans were stopped. The real criminals were caught. And Maria, she was no longer invisible. 3 months later, Maria Gonzalez was appointed as the official translator of the IPC. Her knowledge of 47 languages was now serving world peace. Her office was on the 35th floor, right next to that meeting room. But she still listened to those old recordings at night, because she knew that the most important moments in world history happened in those quiet corners that everyone overlooked. And sometimes the greatest heroes were the people no one saw. Maria's story shows us that sometimes the solution comes from the most unexpected places. The people we overlook in daily life might actually have the greatest powers. If you like this story, don't forget to hit the like button. Write in the comments what you would do if you were in Maria's place. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for such gripping stories. Because every week, we're here with videos full of such realistic stories, psychological suspense, and surprise endings. See you in the next video.